Good morning, citizens of YouTube. Randy here. Well, woke up this morning after a beautiful sleep, as usual, and come to find out that a couple of folks out there in Dallas went buck wild and actually started killing cops. Are you surprised? No, I'm not surprised at all. And as expected, you're going to see a lot more of this stuff, these kind of incidents happening, because the people are tired and the people are just not going to take up with it anymore. Do I condone, randomly killing folks? Me personally, I would prefer to administer the justice on the people that actually perpetuated the evil on the other individuals. But you're not going to be able to find these people unless you have the resources and the time to do it. So people resort to just mass killing people. But after all, this is the Fraternal Order of Police, and they are a brotherhood. So when you attack one of them as they attack a citizen, in essence, you are attacking one of their brothers or one of their sisters. But neither here nor there. The idea is that, how do you go about warring against this system? Now, you're not going to beat government. Government, they have all the guns, they have all of the technology, they have all of the means to subdue anybody that's going to take them on in a direct confrontation. And the most powerful arm of government they have is their propaganda tool, their media. They have the social platforms to drown you out. They have the social platforms to make you look like a kook, crackpot, because after all, this is all about winning the hearts and the minds of the people and the souls of the people, and this is what is at stake here. But one of the most powerful things that you can do to combat government and to combat all this tyranny is to simply walk away. Just walk away from this system. I found that the most powerful thing that you can do against a superior force is to walk away. Withdraw your time, withdraw your energy, withdraw your resources in your efforts towards feeding this system. One of these globalists said a very powerful quote a while ago. He says, "Let them march all they want, just as long as they pay their taxes." And that told me something very profound. They want you working in their system so that you can be taxed half to death, and you're funding this system. He said, get out of the city and get out of these densely populated areas, get out of these mortgages, but a lot of people won't do it. And 99% of the people that hear this kind of stuff, they ain't gonna do it. Just watch their lives. They're not gonna do it at all, because they're too comfortable in their current state. They like the conveniences of the city, so they're not going to move out of the city. They're not going to move out of these densely populated centers. They're not going to move out into a country setting and work to raise their own foods and educate their own children. They're not going to do that because they like the conveniences of the city. This is how you war against the system. You don't fight the system. You just walk away from the system. You don't feed into the system. You sidestep their laws. This is how you deal with them. You combine your resources together. But again, people ain't gonna do that. Just watch them. This is why all of these collective movements and all these collectivist movements are gonna fail, because once you get a group of people together in large enough mass, all they're going to do, the government, is infiltrate these people and change the message. Sure, I think Black Lives Matter started on some genuine stuff, but then you start hearing these Soros folks funding these people, and then it's been co-opted, and then it's just totally something else, and they're never really going to be effective. This is why you're going to need individual people taking individual steps to free themselves from this system, because the vast majority of the people, they're not going to do nothing at all. They all talk. I was reading this Didachi thing. He's talking about Christ peddlers. They're not going to do anything at all. They want somebody else to provide for them, and this is why you have so many people that refuse to make a lifestyle change, because, and at the end of the day, they want somebody else to take care of them. They want somebody else to provide for them, and government knows it. And so, being that government knows that, the average person wants to be dependent on them for their livelihood, they're going to acquiesce, and they're going to stay in these systems that they are dependent on. They're going to stay at these jobs. You know, as I was talking to a brother a couple of weeks ago, and he said the sad, sorry fact of the matter is that a lot of people just want to be told what to do. A lot of people don't want to think for themselves. A lot of people don't want to strategize and take initiative for themselves. They just want to be told what to do. You look at a population today that has been so dumbed down. I was talking to a sister, you know, a couple of months ago, and she said, thank you so much for an intellectually stimulating conversation. The average person today is so stupid and so dumbed down that they can't even think for themselves. They can't formulate a correct sentence. They can't make basic decisions for themselves. They're so utterly dependent on government for everything for them that they're never going to truly rise up and do anything for themselves. The most powerful thing that you can do at this point in time is not fight government, but just walk away. And a lot of people ain't going to do it. It's a sad thing. You know, they're going to march, hold up their banners, you know, and waste their time. Growing up in my youth, I was part of the organization called the NAACP. Now, I wasn't just a regular card-carrying member. I was president of the Brooklyn Youth Council, and I went on to become president of the New York State Youth and College Division. And I held national positions on the national board and national committees for the organization. And one of the things that I noticed is this woman called Hazel Dukes that issued some orders. She said, get the people together. There was an issue at McDonald's. And she said, go and march in front of McDonald's. Go and march in front of McDonald's. And the first thing that I thought was, why now I'm going to march in front of McDonald's? I got friends that work there. And number two, I like the number one. So why in the hell am I going to go and march in front of McDonald's knowing damn well that I'm going to be in front of there next week or next month ordering the number one? A total waste of time. And I asked a question. I said, wow, we eat at these shops all the time. Now, this is all before I was 17 years old. I held these positions doing this kind of stuff. So I learned at a very young age that it was just a waste of time to join these collective organizations that are just nothing about feeding, and it's all about many power structures within them. When you come down to it, it's about the people at the top of these organizations feeding off from the bottom people of these organizations, while out in front of the cameras talking about we're for civil rights, we're for racial equality, and we're for black people, or we're for this, that, and the third. It's all a joke. It's all a scam. It's a sad thing, and this is why the first line of defense, instead of putting yourself in a situation where you're going to be interacting with a cop in a certain venue, is to remove yourself first and foremost from that venue. I mean, I live out in the country now, and out in these parts, all of the police officers, they live in the area. They all know about Second Amendment rights. They're a lot more slower to respond, and they're very kind and they're very respectful. Now, of course, anything can happen anywhere, but it is far more stretch when a cop is called for him to show up guns blazing out here in the country, as opposed to out in the city, where somebody calls it the cops, you liable to have your life put on the line. So nothing is gonna stop, and it's just gonna get worse out there in these major population centers. This is why the first thing that you need to do is just remove yourself from those situations. Remove yourself from their systems of taxation as much as you can. Give as little to the system as possible. Live a peaceable life. Sure, I don't make the $100,000 or the 6 figures or whatever I used to make before, but I have my family, I have my health. We live simple. We have everything that we need. We want for nothing. Pastor Joe Fox did a video talking about this very same thing, thinking that we need to chase money and material things in order to feel as though we're important, or we have things to make us feel special. Nah, all of that's garbage. It's all crap. It's a blessing to be able to know that now, and not to be chasing these dollars and high cars and threads and jewelry and all that garbage and all that mess. Come out. But a lot of people are hypocrites. They ain't gonna do it. Don't waste your time with these collective movements. Come out. Live simple. You'll find true peace and joy. Shalom.